Hello, friends, and welcome to Tori Talks TV. This is our review of Game of Thrones Season 1, Episode 1. All right, Dr. S, take it away.
All right, so Episode 1 opens with a scene that sets the stage for the whole story. So we have the enemy to the north, and then there's the Game of Thrones happening. That means nothing if they don't take the threat of the White Walkers seriously.
No, seriously.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So we see King Robert bringing his family to Winterfell to ask his old friend Ned Stark to replace Jon Arryn, who has recently died, and be his Hand of the King.
Mysteriously died.
Or mysteriously died.
Seems like it.
Right?
Yeah.
And then we also see Viserys offering his sister Dany to Khal Drogo in hopes of using the Dothraki army to regain the crown.
Yes.
Yes. So,
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
So we meet a lot of interesting people.
We get to see
a lot of interesting people. So some of
the
our
whole setup.
favorite people. So the Stark family. So Arya and Sansa.
Two sisters.
Two sisters. Very different.
Very different.
Very different.
Probably the complete opposite.
Yes.
Little cute feisty Arya, maybe tomboyish.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, and she's like, I don't want to do what the typical ladies do.
Like Lady Sansa wants to do, which is marry a prince.
Be all girly.
Yes. So
exactly.
I like the dichotomy setup. They're
I do
there
too.
from the beginning.
Right. Yeah, that
we
was a
also
good
meet Bran Stark.
Oh,
little Bran who
little baby
likes
Bran.
to climb the walls of Winterfell.
Bran, don't you climb those
And
walls.
Catelyn Stark, Ned's wife, telling him,
His mama.
promise me you won't climb those walls. And he's like, I promise, Mommy.
He can't resist, though.
No, he
Yeah,
can't.
he's a little monkey.
We also meet Jaime and Cersei Lannister.
Well, let's just talk about them.
So Cersei, wife of King Robert. So they're all at Winterfell, and little Bran decides not to obey his mother's orders to climb the walls.
Yeah.
And look what happens. What does he happen upon?
He sees Jaime and Cersei Lannister,
Twins.
doing it.
Fornicating.
Getting it on. They're twins.
They're twins.
I affectionately, quote unquote, call this twincest.
Twincest.
I have coined the phrase.
Affectionately,
It's official.
though. Affectionately.
It's official.
Affectionately
It
call
shouldn't be, but it is.
Just
so,
yeah.
Bran was not supposed to climb that wall,
Nope.
that tower. He gets to the window and he sees them getting raunchy.
Yeah.
And
they have a problem. They need to solve it. And what do?
The worst thing ever.
Really? So Jaime goes over and he goes, the things I do for love, boom, pushes
him.
Bran out the window.
See, you really get the idea of how sinister these Lannisters are.
Exactly.
In
a very short time frame, we learn a lot.
Exactly, because you don't know anything about these characters, right? Going into it, you can tell that I thought Cersei, snob. Jaime, charming.
Yes,
maybe?
yes,
okay.
Yes.
Easy on the eyes.
Yes.
But, what's he about? I don't know. He has sex with his sister is what he's about.
And not too afraid to push children out windows.
Right, exactly. They're heartless, and you just, again, this is like you said, it sets the tone, this episode, right?
Right.
So.
Yes, and, we realize really quickly how brutal these people can be to keep their secrets.
Exactly.
And one of my favorite scenes of the entire season is in this episode, and it's the one where Jon Snow and Tyrion Lannister meet and have a conversation. So the Lannisters are at Winterfell, they're having a big feast, and we learned that Catelyn Stark doesn't want Jon Snow really at the festivities because he's a bastard. He's Ned's bastard.
Can we just talk about this, though?
Catelyn has never accepted Jon into the family because he's a bastard.
Right. That's not her son. That's not her blood.
Yes. And so although the rest of the Starks have embraced him as one of their own, they have really tight relationships. Catelyn never has. And so Tyrion arrives and he and Jon Snow meet. And we get to see a really nice moment where Tyrion, approaches Jon and he's beating the bag of whatever that is, and talks about the similarities between being a dwarf and a bastard in their father's eyes, and it's one of the most touching moments of the entire thing.
Especially that episode where okay, so Tyrion's not a bastard, but he's I might as well have been because he's a quote unquote imp or whatever they call him, right? So he said in his father's eyes he's a bastard basically. So heart to heart.
Yeah.
Really sweet. And then you kind of get to see both of their character.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
They're sweet boys.
Tyrion's like, you know, whatever the world thinks of you, you need to turn that into your armor.
Exactly.
So that they can never use it to hurt you. And I love that moment.
That is a really good moment from
really
episode
is.
1.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're just, this episode, you're like, they just kind of threw it in your face.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You don't know what to expect watching this series, especially back in 2011. You have no idea what this show's going to be about. And then there you go. You're like, okay, these people are evil. Okay, these people are cool. Oh, these people are sweet. Like, It's just setting the stage for this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's only the beginning. That's only episode 1, if you can believe it. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our review of episode 1. But you know what? Stay tuned, because there is a lot more to know and to review. So next up is our episode review of number 2 from season 1. But don't go anywhere, because like literally it's about to happen. So just sit there, give it a few seconds, and we'll move on.
Sit tight.
See you soon. Bye-bye.